The Life of Galileo by Bertolt Brecht is today's topic of discussion. So, this play, The Life of Galileo, was first written in 1938 and it was first premiered in German at the Zurich Schauspielhaus on the 9th of September 1943. And after this, it was translated in English between 1945 to 1947 and then it was premiered at the Colorado Theatre in Los Angeles on 30th July 1947. Okay, friends, I forgot to mention that in this session I'm gonna discuss the main crux of this play as well as the character list and summary. Okay. So actually in this play, The Life of Galileo, Bertolt Brecht portrays the later life of Galileo Galilei, who was a physicist, astronomer and philosopher. Here the main crux is that this play shows Galileo's struggle to prove the theory of Nicholas Copernicus that the sun is in the center of the universe and the earth and other planets revolve around it. So this is called the theory of heliocentric universe. Okay. So we can say that this play, The Life of Galileo, bears the historical account of Galileo Galilei's scientific findings. But apart from this historical account, this play has a Marxist bent. Because here Brecht shows that Galileo's astronomical discoveries regarding the universe is significant not only for their scientific implications but also for the ways in which these discoveries dispel many of the superstitions and beliefs that were put forth by the Catholic Church among the common people. Okay, actually in that era, in the 17th century and before 17th century also, basically for around 2000 years it was believed that the earth is in the center of the universe and the sun revolves around it. Okay, but after Nicholas Copernicus, Galileo's findings, Galileo's proof that the universe doesn't revolve around the earth and that heavens are more elusive than previously believed, this discovery throws the whole contemporary system of thought into a doubt. Okay, so now before discussing the summary, you have to know the character list. Okay, so here you can see the character list. So take a screenshot and read it. That will help you obviously. Actually, friends, if you search for the character list of this play, then you will find some important characters. But here in this video, I tried to mention all the characters that are present in this play. Okay. So take a screenshot. I think it's done. So now let's start discussing the summary. So actually there are total 15 scenes. Okay. So at first we have scene 1. So here the story opens with Galileo, who is seen as a professor of mathematics at the Padua University of the 17th century Venetian Republic. Actually, Galileo lives in Italy and Venice is the Republic of Italy. Okay. So here in the opening scene, Galileo is talking to his housekeeper Signora Satti's son named Andrea Sardi, who brought breakfast for Galileo. And Galileo told him not to shut any books that were open in the table of Galileo. So then Galileo started to question Andrea about physics and astronomy. Actually, Andrea told Galileo that if Galileo will not pay the milkman's due money, then obviously the milkman will revolve around their house. So at this point, Galileo started to question Andrea about physics and astronomy. Okay. Then he told him Copernicus' theory that sun is still and the earth is on the move. But as I said before that in that era, people believed that the earth is still and sun is on the move. But when Galileo told Andrea about the real truth, then Andrea, who was probably 10 years old, doesn't understand this and he says that everyone see the sun moving every day. Then Andrea questions that if the earth moves, then why we do not hang upside down at night. Okay. Then by using an apple and a splinter from a piece of firewood, Galileo tries to make Andrea understand about this theory. So then Mrs. Sati, means Andrea's mother, who is Galileo's caretaker, told him that don't teach Andrea these things because these things are opposite as well as against the church approval model as well as the school teachings. So here actually the dramatist Bertolt Brecht shows the problem of lack of money in Galileo's life because Galileo spent all his money to buy books to prove Copernicus' theory. So he also requests his university to raise his salary. So then as Galileo, Andrea and Miss Sati was discussing about these things, then one rich man named Ludovico arrives in that scene to make Galileo his tutor. Actually, Ludovico's mother wants him to study science. That's why Ludovico came to Galileo to make Galileo as his tutor. Okay. So then his Sarti told Galileo that please accept the offer, at least it will give you some money. So thus, in the conversation between Ludovico and Galileo, Ludovico told Galileo about a queer tube thing, means telescope, that he saw in Amsterdam. Galileo also instantly understands this, okay? So after this, there comes the procurator of Padua University, means Galileo's supervisor of Padua University. He informs Galileo that Galileo's request to raise his money or salary has declined, and the procurator also says that now if Galileo wants to make more money, then he have to invent something useful. So now as Galileo understands the mechanics of the telescope, now he replicates one telescope. So this is the scene 1. Now we have scene 2. Scene 2 shows that Galileo is presenting his invention to the Venetian Republic. At the great arsenal of Venice, the senators, including the Doge, they are gathered to see the novel invention of Galileo. So they are Galileo, his friend Sagredo, and Virginia Galilei were also present. Virginia Galilei is the daughter of Galileo. So then Galileo presents the telescope to the crowd. Then the procurator makes a speech about the fact that the telescope by Galileo will now be a profitable product because they believe that this telescope is Galileo's original invention. But at that time, they don't know about the fact that this telescope was previously invented by Dutch people and was sold in Amsterdam. Okay, but this truth will open in the scene number 3. So when in this scene, the senators, the Doge looked at the telescope, then Galileo told Sagredo that he pointed the tube at the moon last night and he saw that the moon has no light of its own. Okay, so this is actually one of the biggest discoveries made by Galileo. Okay, so now we have scene number 3. So this scene actually shows the episode of 10th January 1610. So in this scene, Galileo and his friend Sagredo discovered the mountains in moon, and they also discovered that the moon doesn't emit its own light but rather it reflects the light from the sun. Galileo told Sagredo that the earth is also just like the moon. The earth has no light of its own and it also reflects the light from the sun. So then Galileo and Sagredo observed with the telescope the 4 moons of Jupiter, and this confirms the hypothesis of Copernicus. Okay, so Galileo wants to tell people about this discovery, but his friend Sagredo warned him against the possible consequences to go against the church. And he also reminds Galileo that 10 years ago, a man named Giordano Bruno was burned for quoting Copernicus as well as for believing Copernicus' theory. But still Galileo professes his belief in man's reason. He said to Sagredo that if he will show people with proof, then people definitely believe in him. So now in this scene also, here comes the procurator, the curator of the Padua University. He brags on Galileo because he came to know that the telescope has already made in Holland, and now a Dutch cargo ship is unloading 500 telescopes in Italy. So at this point, Galileo and his friend tried to make the procurator understand about the scientific value of the telescope, but the procurator was only interested in the commercial value of this telescope. Then after the leave of the procurator, Galileo informed his daughter Virginia that soon they will move to Florence because he applied to become a court mathematician for the Grand Duke of Florence. He vows to write a letter of the Grand Duke of Florence that he shows to his friend Sagredo. So actually, Galileo mentioned in that letter that he will name the moons of Jupiter after the name of the Grand Duke of Florence, whose name is Cosimo de' Medici, who was around 9 or 10 years old. So after this we have scene 4. So this scene shows that Galileo and his family moved to Florence with Andrea and Mrs. Sarti. So here, in Galileo's absence, in the residence of Galileo, Cosimo arrives and Andrea told Cosimo that the earth revolves around the sun, but Cosimo doesn't believe in him and he picks up the Ptolemaic model, but Andrea told him to give it back, put it back in the table. But Cosimo refuses. Then the two boys get into a fight, and in their fight they broke the Ptolemaic model. Okay. Then at this point Galileo arrives and he told Cosimo the Medicis group of chamberlains that the sun is still and the earth revolves around it. So then Cosimo's chamberlains, including a mathematician, a theologian, and a philosopher, they do not believe in Galileo's theory. Galileo told them, he urges them to look through the telescope to see for themselves the real truth that the sun is still and the earth is on the move, and that the Jupiter has 4 moons. But the mathematician and the others suggest that what is in your tube and what is in the skies is not necessarily the same thing. It means that they are questioning Galileo's invention, they are questioning the working of the telescope, and they also accuse Galileo of painting the Medicean stars onto the lens of the telescope. So after this, we have scene 5. It shows that the plague overtakes Florence. Okay. But in spite of this plague outbreak, Galileo was to carry on his researches and he decided to stay in Florence. Mrs. Sarti, as a caretaker, also was to stay beside Galileo, but they decided to send Virginia and Andrea to Bologna by the carriage that the Grand Duke of Florence has sent. But soon, in their way to Bologna, suddenly Andrea appears in Florence because he jumped off the carriage and he walked for 3 days to reach to Florence again. Okay, so then Galileo told Andrea that he has discovered Venus as a planet. He told him that Venus is also a planet that travels around the sun like the other planets. So friends, this is another discovery by Galileo Galilei with the help of his telescope. So after this we have scene 6. So here in this scene it shows the episode of 1660. Here the Vatican Research Institute called the Collegium Romanum confirms Galileo's discovery. So now there can be seen a hope of light for Galileo, but this hope is also vanished because the cardinals do not accept Galileo's theory. At night, the monks, the scholars gathered in small groups. They were laughing at Galileo's theories. They were joking about Galileo's theory. They were pretending that it means that they were joking, that making fun by saying that the earth is moving too fast. But at this point, Christopher Clavius, who was the church's greatest astronomer, he was looking through Galileo's telescope for a long time. So at this point, a very old cardinal questions that why Clavius is so much interested in meeting Galileo, or why he is taking so long time to inquire the telescope. And when Clavius enters, then he says that he is right. He just said these words and he leaves. But no one listened to his words. No one listened that Clavius is saying that Galileo is right. But one monk informs Galileo that Galileo has won, but Galileo told him that it is not he who won, but reason. The reason, the discovery, the truth won. So after this there comes scene 7. This scene shows that the Inquisition imposes a ban on the Copernicus theory. So this scene takes place at Cardinal Bellamine's house in Rome. Galileo reached there with Virginia and her fiancé Ludovico. So there Cardinal Barberini and Cardinal Bellarmine questioned Galileo's hubris. They were suggesting that Galileo believes himself to know more than God. So Bellarmine tells Galileo that his theory has been deemed foolish, absurd, and contrary to the existing faith. Okay, so then the Cardinal Barberini and Cardinal Bellarmine are trying to persuade Galileo to abandon this theory. They say that any discovery against the church statement can make a conflict between the church and common people, because church helps people, basically the common people, to make sense of their lives and to show them right path. So this theory against the old belief, against the belief of God or the church belief, will lead to a social havoc. So now we have scene 8. Here Galileo speaks with the little monk at the palace of Florentine ambassador in Rome. Okay. So when the little monk tells Galileo that they are trying to keep Galileo's theories quiet so that the poor people do not lose their belief in religion, they do not lose the religious ideology that justifies their poverty. Galileo suggests that his theories could eliminate the need for poverty and transform people's understanding of the world. But again, the little monk warns Galileo that his discoveries could create social unrest, but Galileo still hopes that science will definitely open the eyes of every human being. So after this we have scene 9. This scene shows that Galileo actually holds off his research for 8 years, but he still continued studying mechanics. Then in Galileo's house in Florence, he teaches Federizzoni, the little monk, and Andrea. Okay. Then when they came to know that the scientist Cardinal Barberini becomes Pope, then after learning this, Galileo returns again to experimenting. In this scene, Ludovico arrives and informs Galileo that Ludovico and his mother do not like Galileo's theories. Then Galileo and Ludovico engaged in a heated argument. So after this we have scene 10. So in the following decades, the doctrine of Galileo is widely spread among the people. The singers, the pamphleteers, even in the 1632 Carnival of Italy, many Italian cities chose the topic of astronomy, and there Galileo's new ideas were the main point to talk about. A man also sings a song about the horrible doctrines and opinions of Galileo. Okay. So after this we have scene 11. So this scene brings the turning point in Galileo's life. So this scene shows that Galileo and Virginia reached to the Grand Duke of Florence's palace and waited to be admitted by the Grand Duke. Vanni, one person, actually he was the iron founder. He greets Galileo and Virginia. He tells Galileo that he and the other manufacturers are in support of Galileo and advises Galileo to leave this place and go to Venice. Then the Cardinal Inquisitor came down the stairs, followed by the Grand Duke Cosimo di Medici. Galileo tries to give Medici the book which contains Galileo's discoveries, but Medici rejected the book. Then Virginia becomes worried that they are in danger, but Galileo tells her that they can flee to another location from here. But before they can leave, an official brings Galileo to a coach which will take him to the Holy Inquisition in order to decide Galileo's fate. Okay. So now we have scene 12. So here the former Cardinal Barberini, who became now Pope, he meets with the Cardinal Inquisitor, but the Cardinal Inquisitor told him that he is unhappy with Galileo's findings, but the Pope, means Cardinal Barberini, told him that he is in favor of Galileo's teachings now. He suggests that Galileo has created chairs that have improved the world. So after their conversation, there comes the scene 13. So scene 13 shows that the little monk Federizzoni plays chess and Andrea waits for the news of Galileo and Virginia kneels in prayer. They discuss about Galileo's fate. Then the little monk notes that it is Galileo's 24th day in prison. Actually, in the scene 11, we have seen that Galileo was taken to Rome in a coach for further inquisition, and now it is the 24th day of Galileo's prisonhood. So actually, the 23rd day means the previous day was the chief date of hearing. So that's why they all are waiting for Galileo's news. Suddenly a messenger enters and he tells the group that Galileo will be back shortly and soon Galileo will recant. So here recant means Galileo will take back his theory that the sun is in the center and the earth revolves around it. So here basically Andrea believed that Galileo will never do such things. But finally Galileo also failed to establish his as well as Copernicus' theory, and thus he also falls prey to the pressures of his era and takes back all his scientific claims that he has put forth. His pupils feel betrayed by his decision. His pupils mean Andrea, then little monk Federizzoni. They become disheartened by Galileo's decision because this decision of Galileo to take back all his theories sets science backwards. Okay, so now we have scene 14. So in the opening of this scene, there is a remarcation that from 1633 to 1642, Galileo was in house arrest. He lives in a house in the country near Florence as a prisoner of the Inquisition till he dies. So Galileo dies in 1642. So here in this scene 14, the dramatist Bertolt Brecht shows Galileo is old and half blind. He was living in a large room with a wooden table and a globe, and there he was experimenting with a bent wooden rail and a small ball of wood. So at this point, Andrea, who was going to Holland, he visits to Galileo. Then Galileo told Andrea that Galileo has finished the discourses concerning two new sciences, mechanics and local motion. That is the name of the book which Galileo has finished. So Galileo told Andrea to take the transcript of the book which is inside the globe. Okay. So Galileo actually hides the transcript inside the globe so that no one can see it. And then with the help of Andrea, Galileo vows to send it to Holland so that no one can able to know about it. Okay. So now we have the final scene, scene number 15. Okay. So this scene shows the episode of 1637. So then Andrea leaves Italy, and at the border guards inspected him, and during this inspection the border guards seemed too lazy to review all the books of Andrea. So during the inspection, Andrea heard that some boys were talking about a local witch who can fly in the air on a broom, and then Andrea told them that a human could never fly through the air on a broomstick if there is no machine fitted in the broomstick. Then Andrea told them that still now there is no such machine invented, but we are really at the beginning. So with this line, Andrea hints at the new age, the age of science that is about to begin. Okay. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video.